Hey, what is up, guys? Colonel Corn here, and today I want to talk to you guys about my experience door dashing. So, I've been door dashing for a few weeks now, kind of off and on whenever I have time, and it's a pretty good job to do part time. I like it a lot. It's very easy, it's not very physically demanding. I mean, it's not physically demanding at all. You barely have to do anything, actually. You just got to be able to drive well and, understand how to use GPS pretty much, and that's in the app, know how to use the app, and that's pretty much all you have to do. But I'm gonna explain to you guys kind of my thoughts about if you should start door dashing or what to expect when you do start. So I'm gonna give you guys the rundown real quick. All right, so with should you DoorDash or not? Well, it depends on your situation. Now, what I mean by that is, do you have a family to take care of? And that's a big question I ask myself. I would ask myself if I had a family, but I don't. I'm just a student in college, so obviously I don't have any kids. At least I don't want any yet. But yeah. So you have to ask yourself, do you have a family? And if you do, it's going to be kind of tougher to do as a full-time job. And the reason why I say that is because if you have a full-time job, let's say for instance you make $10 an hour and you work 40 hours a week. Typical work week, 40 hours, and you make 10 an hour. So that means before tax you have $400 exactly. So after tax you're bringing home roughly $320 coming home in your bank account. And let's say you get paid once a week, because DoorDash you get paid once a week. So you're bringing home $330 in your bank account every week, depending on how your taxes are where you live. I mean, that's how it is where I live. Obviously, I don't have to pay for life insurance or insurance stuff with the company or anything like that, so I don't have any money taken out for that. But that is typically if you didn't have anything come out with insurance or nothing, you get all of it with just taxes you pay to the government. Usually we get $320 to $330. With DoorDash, you don't know what you'll get. It's really just depending on how well the business is. It's as simple as that. Are people ordering? That's how you get paid. You get paid by delivering food. If no one's ordering, you don't have any deliveries to take, which pretty much makes you waste time and you're not making any money while you're sitting there in your car doing nothing. Happened to me once. I think I got 2 orders in 2 hours and I just went home because it was just a waste of time. I just didn't feel like sitting around anymore. So you have to take that into consideration. Now, you could make more than what you expect. You could make less than what you expect. And if you have a family at home who relies on your paycheck, you want to be able to know how much you're bringing home every week so you're able to budget and know how much money you have left over. DoorDash, you can't. You can estimate it. You can guess and say, okay, maybe I'll have this much money and hope that you'll get that when you DoorDash. But, you might end up working more than you expected sometimes to get that amount of money. So it is give and take. It's all by chance. Now, if you're doing it as a part-time thing, I really recommend it because it's super easy. You work really when you want to. You just have to schedule ahead of time, a couple days ahead, to make sure you get your spot depending on where you're scheduling. If obviously the area is very busy, full of people who want to DoorDash, you're going to have to schedule a few days, even maybe a week before. But if it's an area where no one really sits at and no one really dashes at, you can schedule the day before or 2 days before and be able to work that scheduled time. It is very hard to schedule the day of, so I recommend scheduling a couple days before you plan the DoorDash. So you can't just work whenever you feel like it. You have to plan when you're going to work. You can't just hop in the car and go, oh, I'm a DoorDash. It doesn't work like that. So a couple more downsides to what I see with DoorDash is your tips are through the app. So DoorDash knows exactly how many tips you're getting. So when it comes tax time, you're going to have to file for those as income. So you will have to pay taxes on those tips versus if you're a waiter or waitress in a restaurant and you got cash as a tip, you don't necessarily have to claim that. You can just slide on the radar. I know it's illegal, but you can slide on the radar and say, I didn't get any tips for that table, or you got less than what you actually got, and you're able to avoid taxes that way. It's illegal, but some people do it. Now, DoorDash, that's impossible. You're going to have to pay taxes on those tips eventually, and those tips are not pulled out of your paycheck with taxes. So you're going to have money set at the end of the year, every year, if you're going to do DoorDash a lot, in order to pay for those taxes, because you're going to have to owe the government some of that money. The government wants its piece, so you're going to have to, scrounge up whatever you need from that tip money and be able to pay for those taxes once tax time comes around. All right, so now we're going to go into what to expect when you first start dashing, your very first day doing it. Now here's the rundown. Whenever you go to start dashing, make sure your phone is fully charged, or you have a charger in your car that works. But if you don't have a charger in your car, make sure your phone is fully charged and you have a decent amount of gas in the car. If you're gonna do like a 4-hour dash session, you're gonna probably go through over 100 miles with a gas, depending on where you are. Obviously, if you're in the city, you probably won't go through that much gas, but if you're in areas that are a lot broader and bigger, you're gonna be going through easy over 100 miles of gas. So make sure you have gas in your car, so you don't have to stop mid-dash because you're losing money when you stop. And make sure also you have, drinks and snacks in your car, just in case you get hungry, so you don't have to stop. That's the biggest thing. You don't want to stop because you waste time when you stop. Just going to something like a Sheetz or a little general store like Dollar General costs time. And time is money when you're dashing. You want to make sure you're able to get the food to the person as fast as possible. So the faster you do that, the faster you get your next order. Simple as that. So when you hit go to location, it's going to take you to the point in the middle of your dashing little area. There's going to be like a little outline in the app where it shows you that's the area you're going to be dashing at. It's going to take you to this point right in the middle of it. So what that means is that when you drive, and personally I learned the hard way, I ended up in a campsite. I just drove into a campsite and I said, I'm here. And then it says, okay, you're dashing now. Go to a hotspot. So when you do that, just go into the zone and go to an area where there's a lot of restaurants like McDonald's, Arby's, the Wendy's, stuff like that. Go to an area with a lot of those, and that's going to be a hotspot. And you're just going to say, start dashing when you get there, and then that's when you start dashing, and that's when it all starts. So when it starts, you're just going to wait around until you get an order. Now, my advice is to put your ringer on, because you're going to get a text message when you get an order, and you're going to be able to open the app in time. If you don't have your ringer on, if you're not on your phone, you will not know you got a order unless you can hear the vibration or feel the vibration. You won't know. So it's better just put your ringer on, so it dings every time you get a text message. When you get a text message, it's usually DoorDash. Unless you have some person blowing up your phone, it's usually DoorDash. So you open up the app. In the app, it tells you a couple things. Before you set the order, it tells you the estimated amount, and you can determine whether or not it's worth it to take it or not. And it tells you how much you're going to have to drive. Now, these are the two things that I look for when I accept an order. If it's really far and it's not very good pay, I skip it. If it's far but good pay, I'll decide whether to take it or not. If it's short with good pay, I take it. And if it's short with bad pay, I just pretty much take it, because if it's a short drive, it'll take, 15, 20 minutes to get the order done. So I just take it. But another thing you can tell you too is if you're in a bad area, say like you get a dash order in an area you don't want to deliver to, say, you think you might get, hurt or robbed or jumped in this specific area. We're talking about, maybe like a ghetto-y area where you feel kind of uncomfortable when you go there. It'll tell you where the dash delivery will be, so you'll be able to know if it's going to be in that area or not. So if it is in that area, you can just decline it and just wait for a better dash location in a better area and then move on. So let's say you set the dash. You're going to go to the restaurant that your dash you're supposed to go to, right? So you go there, and usually what I do, I just walk in and I keep my phone in with me because it tells you the name of the order. So you scroll down and it tells you the name of the person who ordered it. And I go up to someone and I'm like, hey, I'm here with DoorDash. I'm here to pick up so-and-so's order. And if they need proof, just show them your phone that you're actually from DoorDash. It'll show the order and the name and everything, so they know it's actually, you're not just handing out, food. And if, like I said, if the name of the person wasn't enough, you have the app. So they give you the food if they have it ready. Hopefully they'll have it ready by that point. They give you the food, and then you're off to wherever the person lives or wherever the location is to drop it off. And so you drive there, pretty simple. I just throw on country music and listen to it. You know, pretty simple. You just drive there. Then you go on the app when you get there. You say, I've arrived. And then it'll give you instructions. Sometimes the person will request to just have it dropped off at the door, which means that you just put it on the front door, on the front mat. You take a picture of it for the app, and then you're done. Or they ask for it to be handed in person. You just go to the front door, knock, ring doorbell, hand them the food, and then that's it. And then you get paid. And then you go back to a hotspot, wait for another order, do the same thing. It's really that simple. It's not a hard thing to understand. It's very easy, very simple, and it's something that really anyone can do. Anyone, as long as you can drive, and I guess walk would be pretty good, pretty important for this. Then you can do it. So pretty simple, pretty easy, and yeah. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed the background footage of a bunch of cars driving around and people walking around. I thought that would be very fitting for a DoorDashing video as the background to me talking. If you made it this far, I mean, I don't know how people made it this far, because I'm pretty boring voice and everything. So we'll see, I guess. But yeah. So I'll see you guys around. I'll try and post more as much as I can because I enjoy this YouTube thing. I think it's kind of fun. So yeah, I will see you guys around. Thanks. Bye-bye.